How was it to not write a concept album for this time?
Again, another breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I mean, as with the band, it's thematic. You know, it's all joined by a common thread. But yeah, it was good, you know, to write 11 songs, 13 if you buy a special edition, that weren't held in constraint by time period, or, you know, the fact that our, you know, concept albums run from A to Z. So it was good just to go, well, I don't know about this song, you know, should we put that here or there?
Was it good because does a concept album take a lot more out of you than maybe write song by song?
Because obviously, you know, you've got to consider how it's going to run and fit the song around the emotive states and what's happening in the story, and then once that's set in stone, you know, you can't shift songs around. So it's you know, it's like a really difficult jigsaw puzzle.
With what feeling did you left the previous record and touring cycle? Was it one that you thought, well, was nice, but I want to do things different now, or what kind of thoughts were crossing your mind back then?
The last touring cycle saw us mostly, we did a full South America, we went basically everywhere apart from Europe. Europe was, wasn't relegated, but it was more summer festivals, and we were told that if we do all the summer festivals, then promoters are not that keen on bringing you back for your own headline tour in that same year. So under that premise, we decided to concentrate on America for the long, because there's not so many big festivals, you know, Ozfest, but we've done that, and that's more like a tour anyway. That's like 10 weeks. So yeah, basically we did I think 3 full American tours, or maybe 3 since the last time we toured Europe properly. So this time the first thing we're doing is coming into Europe for 7 weeks with Godseed and Rotting Christ in support, and maybe even come back again after we finished America and South America, etc. next year.
But creative-wise, was it something that I talked to Paul about it, and he said it was commonly decided that you don't want to make a concept album again? When was this decision made, do you think?
Well, it wasn't really consciously made. It was as the songs came through, Paul started writing them and sending through suggestions. The flavour and the feel of the song suggested their subject matter. And once that was decided, it was kind of like, well, I think that this works better if we don't want to be too predictable. And I think if we'd done a 3rd concept record in a row, it would be expected. And I think this album's very fresh sounding.
Can you call what was your first impression when the first things that came to your ears that Paul has made?
I was really surprised actually, because the album's grittier, and we've gone for more analog sounding, you know, like very live recording, very warm sounding, big ferocious guitars, and very live, very great sounding drums, and I used some great gear, analog gear, for recording my vocals as well. It's a very old school way of doing it.
Was it something that was new for you, or something?
Well, it's more something that we've attributed to demos, but this time we used the same producer from the last record. We didn't use a residential studio, we used 2 smaller studios rather than 1 big one, which gave us the opportunity to work side by side, even though they were 10 miles apart, the studio, but, you know, glorious thing, the internet, and a telephone. And it just enabled us to do something that was very fresh to us, very natural sounding. It's got some punky elements to it, some sort of new wave of British heavy metal vibe to it, you know, especially vocally as well. It's very aggressive, but vocals in place, you can hear every word. That was one thing I really made a conscious decision to do, is, you know, because you can scream all you want, but, you know, at the end of the day, I want people to sing along with our songs now. I don't want people to go...
Is that a desire that you have now you grow a little bit more mature, maybe?
Well, maybe. I think it's just the fact that I've always been to lots of different kind of music, but I think we just wanted to do something that just really stood out and was very different for us in particular. And yeah, I think you can be really heavy, really aggressive, but you can mix that with melody, and you can also mix that with I mean, the vocals are still furious and frenetic, but they're phonetic as well.
Which is
Look at
important.
that,
Yeah. Good way of saying it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to put special attention to it, but it's your 10th record over almost already a 20-year...
Almost 20 years, not quite.
Yeah, almost, but maybe by the time 20-year career. Yeah, do things become harder or more easy for you along the way? Maybe creatively.
Well, no, I think creatively, I know that the scene is kind of music in general is saturated now because there's so many bands doing it. So I guess in that respect, it's difficult for anybody to come out with something totally original. But creative-wise, I don't think we ever lose the spark. There's just too many things that can influence you, just, you know, from your surroundings, from films, TV, you know, literature, art. So I don't think the creative spark will go or has waned. But I think just with age, you do, you know, pick up things, you know, tricks and ways to preserve your voice and technique. And, you know, I hate using the word maturer because it, you know, usually equates as like losing that youthful zest. But I don't think it's a case of us. I think I'm always being told my wife I should grow up.